Another game with Pwndnoob, who's been
Did someone say doing very well, or maybe on a tear, or just dominating?
oh yeah, one of those things. I mean, he's all right. I mean, we're
So
all
for those
really
who don't know, Pwndnoob is currently on a win streak in Platinum, 8 wins in a row, very clearly at the top of the division with 15 points. The next highest up behind that is 9 points. It's huge.
Yeah, and Bananaconda hasn't been doing as well. A little bit further down in the standings in Platinum. Not quite the bottom currently, but has definitely more losses than wins right now. I believe only one win coming into this set and 2 draws, and the
Yep.
rest being losses.
Yeah, Platinum's hard. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
Platinum is a rough time.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's not quite diamond, but it's not too far off.
So yeah, Bananaconda, she's looking to try to upset Pwndnoob here, try to take a few points that no one else seems to be able to get, and maybe stave off demotion. Or I don't know if she's still in.
Yeah, diamond. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still in contention for taking top 2, but definitely trying to at least get out of the motion range here for Bananaconda. And as for Pwndnoob, just trying to take down the final, the final few games to make a perfect season for
Yeah,
Pwndnoob.
yeah. Looks like. I mean, looking at the season scores, looks like Bananaconda is firmly finishing in the middle. For Slappy Davis does have a few games to play, so Slappy could indeed overtake Bananaconda.
Yeah,
We'll have to see if those makeup games happen or not.
yeah,
Yeah, and
and
I do.
that means we should probably get into the draft,
Yep,
though.
yep. Let's get into it. I got them right here. Let's see. First up, Bananaconda banned High Rise, so we will not be seeing any more of that today.
Yeah, I believe Bananaconda is sort of a hard camper, sort of like Kaylee, who
Yep,
also
yep,
bans high rise every time and just doesn't want a map where the
yep,
AI can finish and you might shoot them.
yep. That is correct. The next ban out of Pwndnoob is Ballroom.
All right, Ballroom, definitely a skill-based, a very, very high skill-based venue. Pretty good for Bananaconda.
All right. The first pick. This is a very popular pick if you're a camper. Is Library.
But of course, 5 of 8 maps.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's something that Bananaconda picks more often than anything else, so it's no surprise.
And then this is a very popular pick if you're Pwndnoob also going up against the camper Tayen. We finally get
If
to
you're
see it.
Pwndnoob. Ah, Tayan. Instead of being banned this set, it got doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bananaconda has banned Tayen 6 times this season, but looks like this is the one time they didn't, and Pwndnoob wants
Yeah.
to take advantage of
They
it.
also did not ban it in the match against Scallions. Anyway, the next pick, Bananaconda losing Courtyard Chicken. But the good news is that we'll get to hopefully see more Courtyard.
Yeah, Courtyard is definitely another venue. If you're a camper, you want to say, okay,
Yes.
hey, I can just lock this down on Sniper and see
Yep.
if I can pick up a spy win.
Indeed. And the final pick from Pwndnoob is Pub.
Pub, newly 3 of 5 this season. Used to be
Yep.
4 of 7.
Yeah.
So definitely another.
It used to be both.
Oh god. Back in season 3.
Yeah, well,
variants.
yeah, back in 1 through 3, I think every map had 2 variants.
4 of 7 Ballroom Re.
Yeah, but we had two bans, so you could still ban out a whole map if you wanted. But yep.
All
But
right.
anyway, we'll get into the game here.
I see Pwndnoob on Bling Twin over on the right side of Library.
I see that as well. Let me transition, and I am good to go.
Dells, you got the same one?
Yep.
Alright, then we'll begin in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Great. And when you look at these picks, it becomes clear to me that Pwndnoob is trying to counter Bananaconda's style. If Bananaconda is a hard tail camper, someone who's watching to see the purloins, the swaps, the bugs, making sure they catch them, Pwndnoob is trying to pick venues, whereas Spy, he is not going to let Bananaconda see that. So on Tayen, might not be able to see it because it's so crowded, it's easy to get bugs and purloins, and then on Pub, it's a soft tail variant 3 of 5. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
we're walking over to our seduction target here. We're going to get our first flirt with pearls over in the far conversation. We have sort of wasted half a minute here not doing much, but it's not terrible. You have enough time on library to get away with that.
yeah.
The ambassador enters right next to us, and we go for a
Oh, that's
bug
just a
as he is
beautiful
entering.
bug. That's just a beautiful
Shouldn't be
bug.
visible at all. I believe we did a walking bug because the
Yeah,
ambassador was walking as we started it, and our arm just goes right into Taft. And that's
yeah.
why people pick Taft as the ambassador, because he's so big that your arm just kind of goes inside him and it's hard to see. The only tell would have been the arm snapping back afterwards.
Yeah, and this arm snapback was covered up by Taft as well, so there just is nothing there for Bananaconda to see unless you barely see the start of the bug. But that's so hard to see. It's such a well-timed bug. It's a little bit akin to starting a white contact as the double agent walks into your conversation. It's just a little bit cheeky, and it can be it can throw off the sniper a lot.
Yeah, and the ambassador came to us. It's not even that we walked up to them, they came to us. And so, even though there's a chance that the ambassador will go stand next to the spy, you're not as suspicious of it as if someone walks up to the ambassador.
Exactly.
We got
All threat, no
from
suspicion.
the green shelf in the middle. It had been a little while since the ambassador was there, since they were over at that conversation where we bugged them. So we're making really good progress. Also got the flirt up to 68%. The ambassador's leaving another print at a bookcase if we want to finish with that, but we also might want to space out our prints a little bit more so we don't get too much suspicion
You know
for
what
it.
we're not spacing out? Our
Flirts.
flirts.
They are done. Pearl is all over us, and we're done with that.
Yeah,
We are being offered a drink. We could choose to purloin here, but the ambassador is on the same side of the venue as us, so Toby
yeah.
would have been easy to
Purloins,
see.
purloins tend to get a little bit worse as you go higher up in SCL in competition, just because you have to make them timed really well for them to get by, because the sniper is usually going to be checking just pretty regularly about what's going on with this purloin here, and that's especially true against a hardtail camper like Bananaconda.
Yeah, we shook our camera at the blue bookcase. The reason for that is, like I said, there was a print there. We went for it, but Duke got there before us, and so we had to go for a difficult print, and we failed at it. So we're heading on over to statues to continue making progress.
There
Maybe
is a
starting to feel a little worried about time.
there is a fingerprint on the center statue on this set, so if we want to go statue to statue here, we could do that, but we don't. Particularly because the ambassador kind of steps into that side statue right next to us, so he wouldn't have been able to get the last inspect on that visit.
We are waiting at the
Um,
windows, maybe planning to go for the statue when the ambassador leaves. We're adding
and
time. It was a green test. And that makes
and
a
the
lot of sense
classic.
because despite the early progress, we were running a little bit slow here without that second.
No, Dells, this doesn't make sense because of any kind of analysis. This makes sense because it's Pwndnoob, and Pwndnoob does time ads. He is a time ad monster.
And then we check our watch again innocently, which is a really, really bold move because with the green time
Oh,
ad, it
oh,
might
you
not have
took a
been
shot
seen when
for
it
it.
happened, but it might
Yeah,
have been seen when you did the watch check the second time. So you're adding extra suspicion on yourself. And that can be mind games against some people. They might, if they caught the time ad earlier, they might think, well, why would the spy go back and check their watch again? But if the mind game doesn't happen, all it means is you get seen at the window checking your watch. They notice the green time ad, and you get shot when you just didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and again, Pwndnoob has a bit of a reputation for time ads, so Bananaconda probably trying to look a little bit more at the clock than you might normally, and successfully shoots for a time ad.
all right. I'm just taking a look at the bug from the sniper side. From Bananaconda's camera, you really can't see it at all, and in the interactive camera, you can just barely see a little bit of an arm move out. But that's
Yeah,
just
definitely a
it's
very strong bug.
yeah, you're not catching that bug.
So we'll go on to the next one. Bananaconda on the other twin
Mhm.
in 3, 2,
Wait.
1. Oh, waiting.
Sorry, I'm loading the game.
It's okay. Don't worry
Oh.
about it.
Great, go ahead.
All right. Bananaconda on the other twin again in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Right near the ambassador, are we going to take control and go for a chaos bug? We do take control, but there was no opportunity for it, and instead it
Yeah.
looks like we're flirting with Taft, but we're not.
And Twin's just a much faster character than Cowboy is here, so
And look at
it's
Hare entering right next to us.
very nice. Yeah, but Twin's much faster than Cowboy, so you'd actually have to walk towards Cowboy, the ambassador, to make that bug happen, and that's just way too suspicious for a chaos bug. It'd be better if you could
Highlights.
walk. Oh.
Highlights coming off on everyone in this conversation circle. Was something phantomed?
Perhaps there was a no talk that I didn't see personally, but maybe this is some kind of research-based play from Pwndnoob here.
I don't think there could have been a no talk because we were taking the flirt with Hare, unless there was one maybe for a moment before we started flirting. But either way, it's unfortunate for Bananaconda to get that highlight, whatever the reason was for it. We're right near the ambassador. We could walk and bug if we feel the laser won't be on us, but that's probably not something you can get away with against a camper on Platinum.
Well, this is not a camper.
Yeah. My bad. Sorry.
Pwndnoob's a good sniper, but
Pwndnoob is the sniper this time, not Bananaconda.
Yes, exactly.
I got confused for a
I feel
moment.
like it's worth pointing out that Pwndnoob went back to that conversation and Lola everybody who was still there.
So it might be a little kind of inactivity strat going on here. Seeing who stays in the conversation for long enough that they deserve that low light for not doing things. Definitely something that can be very strong because the spy is kind of obligated.
Are we going to bug the ambassador here as we walk in? Yes, we are bugging.
There's definitely some snapback
was that a bug
there.
with the book
In
hand?
the red.
A very rare book
hold
hand
on.
bug.
Oh, it was a bookhand bug. Oh my god.
Wow, they do happen occasionally.
A lot happening here. The contact comes off as well right after the bug, so it doesn't even give Pwndnoob a chance to linger on us.
I was wondering why I didn't get a shot. Unfortunately, the microchrome transfer does get a shot, but that bug is definitely hard to look for. When you see the character with the book, you don't really think, hey, they could be bugging. And bookhand bug does not, unfortunately, get us the win. And
wow,
instead
is that
we get
a glitch?
Shot. It is in fact.
It is. It's not an intended action. It's just sort of like
I would say it's a bug.
So basically, like when he starts the bug, it's basically it should be a wrong arm bug, but I think it's just the way the game is. It just decides, this is close enough.
Yeah, and so that's a very rare occurrence. It's not really feasible to pull off intentionally.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, and when the sniper camera moves back over there to see the bug, they don't see the moment of it, but they do see the hand snapping back. But that's definitely something that would confuse Pwndnoob for a moment, because he would just think, wait, did I see that hand snapping back? But it has a book in it. That's not possible. But it was on top of the microfilm anyway, so it didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, and that means it's 1-to-1. Snipers take the first set on library. And we'll be moving into Pwndnoob's second spy game as Wheels. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and to clear up a little bit of the confusion earlier, so Pwndnoob is definitely a behavioral sniper, and Bananaconda is our hard-to-tell camper. And it's two very, very different styles, and I think it's what makes this matchup really interesting, because they do contrast, and, you know, if Pwndnoob is a behavioral sniper, he's also someone who pays a lot of attention to behavior as the spy. There are a lot of other behavioral snipers in Platinum, and so Pwndnoob might fish for lowlights, do really AI-like behavior against them. But Bananaconda's not going to care about that. They're just watching for the missions.
The thing is, Pwndnoob does know that Bananaconda is a camping sniper, so I don't think that against her, Pwndnoob would be looking for any kind of fishing for lowlights that would be coming off behaviorally, and
no,
also
definitely
swap,
not.
by the way.
Yeah, we swapped the statue, we did center statue inspect, and we swapped it. And, you know, that could look suspicious for you. It can also look suspicious to whoever goes there next. And it's still waiting. It's a long time to wait for someone to go take that statue.
Yeah, but if Bananaconda is on this... Oh, that's a bug, too. Statue swap finally comes off here. Looks to swap. looking at the swap.
Oh no, we get shot.
Doesn't even narrow down the doesn't even bother narrowing down the party. This is just something
Yeah, not
that
fooled at all.
Was the
Maybe
fade seen?
I don't think the fade was seen. It should have been off screen. I think perhaps the bug was seen.
The bug is absolutely visible. The hand coming back.
Yeah, and so Bananaconda correctly seeing, okay, this is a swap. Perhaps that was a bug. I think that this is just the spy, right? This looks like maybe this is a rush. Somehow they've gotten more past me than I think, and I don't want to risk trying to just narrow down the party and waiting.
Yep.
Yeah, and also when you consider spy strategies, it's much more likely that the spy does an instant swap at the start than goes to it, 30 seconds in. Because if you're going to it and swapping 30 seconds in there, you're trying to frame the person who was there before you, but you have no way of knowing if they're going to go finish other missions. And so if it gets narrowed down to 2, you might lose. So if you're unsure at all, it's more likely that the spy is the one who was at the statue first. They might have even been trying to swap before you saw the statues.
Yeah, and that means Bananaconda going up 2-1 so far. Sniper's still undefeated here so far in this set. We'll see if Bananaconda can change that on Spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and speaking of the differences between these two players' styles, Bananaconda is very aggressive as a spy, so Pwndnoob as a behavioral sniper, really wants to take the time to track all of the guests and see who's doing
God, White
AI-like things.
Purloin.
And there we go, we're
God,
taking
White
White
Purloin.
Purloin. There's the aggressive strategy. We get highlight for it immediately, though.
And we
It's not like a behavioralist isn't watching hardtails.
we gulp and then, don't gulp.
Yeah.
Bad gulp.
Oh boy.
Yeah, sometimes you hope they didn't see that part, but
yeah, I mean, if you look at what Pwndnoob was doing in the previous game, for example, it sort of supports what I was saying. Like, Pwndnoob started that last game by doing that tactic of highlighting everyone in a conversation and seeing who stays there for a while. So if you're playing against a sniper like that, who you think is going to be just watching for behavior and activity at the start, you might think you're more likely to get away with a really quick hardtail.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Bananaconda, the ambassador was there as well, so there wasn't much else for Noob to be looking at.
Yeah, and that means we're done with library 2-2, and the snipers won everything here. But now we move into Taeyen, which is the first venue in Spy Party history to be significantly spy biased. I say significantly because Ballroom technically does have a 51% spy win rate, but it's usually considered to be 50-50. But that comes later in this, I believe. Actually no. Was Ballroom picked? Or Ballroom was banned?
Ballroom is banned.
Yeah, Ballroom was banned.
For that reason, maybe.
And so we've got Pwndnoob on Spy on Taeyen for the first game. See if we can upset Bananaconda's camping playstyle here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and this was Pwndnoob's pick specifically for that reason, and the reason for that is on Taeyen it can be hard to see things with those shoji in the way, and not even just the shoji, it's just the fact that the conversations are so crowded. It's a lot easier to get away with a bug without being seen, and it's also a lot easier to get away with a purloin if you take the list while Toby is behind the shoji. The sniper, they can see the bug, they can see a lean behind a shoji, but they cannot tell if the list is on the tray or not. So this is a map you want to pick against a hardtail camper.
Yeah, and we start off here. I'd like to point out the shoji setup since we're not really doing anything so far, just getting an early flirt right about. The shoji setup, usually as the spy, what you want for the shoji setup is to have the first 2 offset. It creates this little corridor that the sniper has to see through, and it's really annoying to deal with as the sniper, because it feels like your vision's kind of squashed, you don't get to see as much. Here, we have the books wide open, so there's at least it feels like there's more room and it's less crowded for the sniper. This is a really good contact to take even though it's fake, just because there's only one person out, which means that everyone in the party now has a contact, and on Taeyen that can be very, very powerful.
Yeah, because Taeyen is a map where the sniper might not see everything, and so they might have to take shots that they're not confident about. So if a banana bread has gone off and everyone has potential credit for it, it can induce a shot. We are purloining the list.
White Purloin.
This isn't a spot where it's good to purloin. It's right on screen. It's visible. The fade was even seen. We have to be considering whether or not we want to shoot Alice right away or just highlight her.
Oh wow, that's a bug.
Wow, this is aggressive. To do the bug right after you were seen taking a drink as the list goes away, and we just get a highlight for it.
Yeah,
So it looks like we're not
Bananaconda
certain.
does not seem to have gotten exactly. Does not exactly know if there was a purloin chain, and if so, who was in it. So no shot coming off yet, and the bug from Pwndnoob here. Very strong start, even though we do pick up the majority of the heat for that fade.
Yeah, now
Um,
in a different situation, I might say, well, all Pwndnoob has to do here is finish off the flirt and get a contact and win. But there's just over a minute left. We will need to flirt at least 2 more times and set ourselves up for a contact. So it might be hard to do, and we might have to go to another mission site. And after the highlight for potential purloin, maybe potential bug, I think it'll be really hard to go to another mission site here and not get shot.
yeah, and looks like we're gonna get another flirt off here because of our ST. Very helpful. Oh,
Kane
wow!
gets shot.
Our ST walks into the conversation and immediately starts talking, and that's just enough to get them shot. They were the other person who was in that purloin chain with Toby nearby, and we just take the win on the first game
Yeah.
of TN.
Papa Danger also had kind of an awkward entry, thanks to General kind of pushing him a bit. I think generally, if someone's blocking their path, they'll just go, oh, "Okay, I'll go somewhere else then." But Papa Danger was determined to be there. He really had something important to say. Unfortunately, it was the last thing he ever said.
Yeah, and that means Pwndnoob goes up 3-2. Snipers have been upset after 100% win rate on the library, brought down by the madness that is Tayen. And even though Pwndnoob did win the first spy game, looking at this next Shoji setup, it's a little bit better for the spy. All right, starting the next one in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we were talking about with the shoji setup. Last time we had both of them on the same side, so it was a little bit of an open space. Here they are one on one side, one on the other, and if you just look at it, you can see it just feels way tighter. Those conversations, it's just so crowded, you can hardly even tell, who's in which conversation, and much less if anyone's bugging at that point. We step in and get our first seduce in the conversation here. The ambassador's leaving a print over on the statue potentially available for us.
Yeah, Tap does kind of step right on top of us, makes it
Are we
look a
going to
little bit
bug the
weird.
ambassador as we walk into statues? That's exactly what we do.
And we
We
do
get a
pick up the
highlight
highlight
for
for
it,
it.
but we don't know if that highlight is just for going to center statues or for a potential bug. It's
I think it's
behind the
definitely for a
shoji, so
potential
it's
bug.
very hard to see the arm, but it's definitely a
Yeah.
bug path that spies like to take on this venue.
Yeah, general walking by the ambassador like that and then going to center statues, that's just massive suspicion right there. And I think Pwndnoob is really on top of that possibility. Oh, okay. We're taking up a briefcase here.
That's interesting. To take the briefcase after entering conversation like that, it basically means that we path there to take the briefcase,
Yeah,
or
we
that's
were
the
never
AI.
actually in this conversation as far as the game was concerned if we're an AI. It is a thing AI can do, so it's not really suspicious, other than the fact that we did pick up that fingerprint.
No, I don't think it's
Might be
suspicious so much as it's just noticeable because it's hard to even see the briefcase on the floor. So the sniper might look and say, wait, was General in that conversation? Did they path to that briefcase? Where did they come from? The
I mean,
ambassador
I
is standing
I think
next
I
to
think
us.
Pwndnoob is definitely on top of where we came from. Lots of attention being paid to us here, and this is a really good contact. And if Bananaconda doesn't take it, I think that actually might be a little bit more suspicious. Make Pwn think, okay, this character is going to try to complete without contacting, because this contact is way too good not to take if you're trying to finish with a
Yeah,
contact.
and that's the second time that's come up tonight. It also came up in the high rise game earlier, and it seems to be a common theme. If you have bugged, you can try to get away with a contactless win, but that means that if no contact ever comes off, the sniper could think that the character who bugged might be trying to win. And on high rise, it was a hard to see bug from Smallman that one time, but here the bug path was suspected. So if
Yeah,
Pwndnoob is thinking the same thing, Bananaconda could be a really big suspect for no contact coming off. And we get our second fingerprint from the bookcase.
and
We're not
critically, we're
shot
not
for it.
shot
All we
for it.
need to do is finish with a flirt here. And if we're not shot for this, it'll be really hard for Onoob to finish just for a flirt. We are chasing wheels a bit, though. He could leave before we get there. And I think
We're not even
Bananaconda
close
knew
enough to
that as
make a
well and
flirt.
didn't go too close.
Yeah, definitely did not want to move too close there. Unfortunately, we're not at 66%. We're 3 off, so we need to hit a green here to make this flirt happen.
Oh no, Wheels leaves before we can do it, and now we're in a rough position. We do take the contact instead. We might
Banana
not
bread.
get shot for it, but we
I
very
think we
well
do.
may.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunate for Bananaconda here. I don't know if you get shot for this talk. You might anyways, but the contact is just so much. It's just a much worse option, unfortunately, and is not able to pick up that win to even out the match here. And Pwndnoob up 4-2 after the first two games of Taeyan, and so far that pick is working out. All right. That means that we need to see the next two games to see if the pick actually does work out. Pwndnoob guaranteed to at least split his own pick. So we'll see if Bananaconda can make that split happen, or if she will just take a lot of damage by going over to this venue. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Pwndnoob says he was shooting for flirt regardless, so looks like we weren't going to get away with it either way, but definitely it's just worse to have the contact. Honestly, it's always just going to be worse.
Yeah, we're in a nice conversation here with the double agent and the ambassador. The conversations are pretty full, so it's a good time to
Banana bread.
contact. Unfortunately, the SDA leaves the other conversation, so right now it depends. Does Bananaconda think the front conversation is the only one that has real, or does Bananaconda think, well, someone in the back conversation could have been doing a white test and the double agent bailed before they
Well,
could
we
get it off?
actually, front conversation would have a fake VB even if it was from there, right? So
Oh,
sometimes we'll
sorry,
start
I
to
had
do.
front and back confused. My bad.
Yeah,
Tayan.
no, it's it's Tan, yeah. But anyways, oh, bug by the way, that just happened. It's a bug on Taeyen, and even Tobo doesn't get super excited about those. They just come so often, and they're super hard to see. So looks like we pick up that without any suspicion for it.
I mean, I do think
Um,
there is some credit to getting a bug like this that isn't unseen. When you look at the last match where General took the bug path over to the Ambassador, when you compare it to that, this bug was definitely a little bit less suspicious. So I do give Onoob some credit for that.
yeah, but it's definitely something that comes up pretty often on Taeyen. So um, we're looking to timer flirt here, looks like, and then finish with one other mission, perhaps center statues. If we think that that's a good option.
Yeah, I mean, if you think the sniper hasn't seen the bug, then you can theoretically get away with a center statue visit and they won't shoot you because they don't think you've bugged.
Yeah,
But
that's the
that's
thing.
on other venues. On Taeyen, though, you kind of almost sometimes have to play it like any 3 of 7 as the sniper. If someone goes to center statues, you kind of have to ask yourself, are they going at a time when a spy might go there if they've already gotten a bug earlier?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that makes this venue so difficult for camping snipers. You have to make this kind of behavioral decision making about an AI or a spy going to statues. You know, do I want to shoot this person for what looks like a contact and the center
We are
statues
being
and just
offered a
assume
drink, and we're
flirt?
taking a white
It's
purloin.
a
The
white
tray is a
purloin.
little bit visible. It was hard to see it at the exact moment, but it's very visible now.
Oh,
And we're
oh, we're
oh
dancing.
god, are we gonna get the shot? We're dancing, but the shot comes off. Pearls was tall enough, and her
Too
head was
tall.
very next to Kane there.
Too tall to dance.
Yeah, you must be this short to dance. And as I say that, Bananaconda,
And those high heel
um,
shoes, they don't help.
Bananaconda moving into the spiral as the littlest of men.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's just not, unfortunately, not a lot of cover. Just Papa Danger. He's not interested in playing along.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice to go for the hardtail there. You could have gone for the inspects. You might have even had time to space them out. Why do you think Onu went for a hardtail there instead of finishing with soft?
Well, part of it is just because,
He's just so cocky,
yeah, no,
Thinks he
no,
can get
no,
away with
no.
anything.
Kleos, I think that Pwndnoob was hoping that the Purloin would stay hidden for long enough that the 10-second countdown happens before you ever really get to see the list. And unfortunately, it did not happen in this case. Bananaconda bringing it back 4-3. And now we're going to move into the next game. With
Bananaconda
Bananaconda
in his
on.
final form as Smallman.
Yeah, she decides to
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
the cheese. Uh, and you might say, But wait, it's just picking a character. How can that be cheese?
This is Taeyen.
This is Taeyen. Smallman is always cheese. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Taeyen is just one of the best venues for Smallman. We
Yeah,
start with a bug
and
immediately, and we can't even see it. We can't even see that Smallman is there. It's the back conversation. It's the ideal spot for Smallman, and we even do a banana bread.
Don't let
Stop
Toby offer
top.
to you. Don't let Toby offer to you. Oh.
Oh,
I really wanted
Yeah.
Bananaconda to twitch so Toby would not offer
Yeah.
to her, because if you do that, you're just so unseen at that point.
oh my God! Center
And now we're seeing
statues. We're just
statues.
playing into the Smallman rush meta, and we're just getting buffed for it. Wow.
It was because of the drink. You don't.
Yeah, that's why you don't want Toby to offer to you.
Yeah.
You get seen on the take, and then suddenly, because like Toby kneels down, it's so obvious.
Oh, why did Bananaconda take a drink there? They didn't really have to. They could have refused.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that means that you just get shot for the gulp, and the center statues in the
Yeah.
rush.
Not
and
even
everything
not
happening.
even Smallman can get away with that.
Yeah, and Pwndnoob making Taeyen work and goes up 5-3 in this set after the first two venues.
And Courtyard here is where Bananaconda is really hoping to take it back. Courtyard is sort of considered a sniper-favored venue, and the reason for that is, first of all, there's no bookshelves, so there's less missions to track, but also you have a really high angle, so it's easy to see the purloin at all times, and there's only 4 statues, 2 sets, so it's also easier to see the swap.
Yeah, and that means that this is definitely a venue that Bananaconda is a fan of. This is her pick, obviously, and we'll see if she can make this work for her, just like Pwndnoob made Taeyen work. Trying to come back into this set in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pwndnoob playing rocker here. And, there's also just a little bit of reputation worry. Oh god, purloin happening, getting to green, and we walk away.
Just an immediate reject of Toby. It was completely on screen, so Bananaconda could have... If Bananaconda is on this,
and we're
right,
going into statues here. When you get an early purloin like that, it's a really good idea to go for a rush.
Look at all those lowlights.
Oh god.
And
Yo,
shot.
boy. Yeah, if the reject wasn't
was all over it.
or if there was any more doubt about it, it could have been good to go for a rush, because you try to finish before the sniper has time to narrow down who took the purloin, if it was the rejector or the taker. But in this case, the reject was seen, and going to statues is so suspicious, it just gets a shot.
Yeah, and Bananaconda just has no patience for Pwndnoob's rushes today. Neither of them have any patience for each other's rushes, actually. We've seen the spy get shot 3 times on an attempted rush, not working out each time. And so that means that Bananaconda makes it back 5-4 now. Needs one more game to bring it back even. However, that game is a spy game on Courtyard, which is a perilous task, and we'll see if she can make it happen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and to explain that strategy from Pwndnoob a little bit more, I think it comes down to the fact that since Bananaconda is a hard camper and feels very confident on Courtyard, you know that you're probably not going to be able to get away with a slow game where you kind of do your statues, your contact, your seduce, and then, try to fit a hardtail in at the end. You want to catch the sniper off guard. Bananaconda doing a wrong arm bug here, entering the conversation.
That's a nice bug. Like, oh god,
From
I
the
have to
sniper
explain
angle,
that
I don't think that arm was seen, because they were rotated over to Toby, who was on the other side. Toby was where he is right now, and the ambassador was on the opposite side. So from that sniper's angle, you don't see that arm moving.
Yeah, and so we walk up to the ambassador, we trigger the bug as we're still walking straight forward, and then we path directly to the side. So our arm is hidden from the sniper laser, which of course we are looking at to make sure that the arm is hidden. And what it looks like is a conversation entry that the AIs will do if they'll get to, because AIs will get to a certain point beyond the conversation circle, and then they will decide where they want to go into the conversation. I'm explaining a lot, and so it just looks like a perfectly innocent. Oh wow.
Highlight.
Highlight.
Why are we highlight? Is it maybe for assuming which ones were real?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's
But
a little bit of a delayed highlight because the SDA or the DA left our conversation, but we still picked it up. And that is really unfortunate to get a highlight after getting away with the bug clean. But if it's just a highlight for potential real BB, Bananaconda should still be able to win this.
yeah, and I think that definitely still has a very strong chance. Pwndnoob highlights don't always mean that you're going to die, and Pwndnoob lowlights don't always mean that you've won the game. Oh wow. Did not like the Smallman cheese.
Oh
Looks like
boy.
Oh yeah,
looks like
Pwndnoob left
Smallman
me a
picked up.
message related to this game about how nuanced and amazing that shot really was. But I'm just gonna say
Uh,
that
I think Smallman did all of his missions.
yeah. Well, basically, AIs typically will pick up the briefcase in the situation where they're going to the statues and the briefcase is there, but Smallman instead decided to pick up the statue, possibly because the ambassador was on the statue on
Other
the other
side,
side.
yes.
Perhaps that was too that
So
would have been
so it
too
was
close to pick up a
quote
statue.
unquote too close, despite the fact that there was like all this distance,
So
like walking distance.
Well, that's the risk when you try to
yeah,
dabble in black magic.
yep. It was too nuanced even for the great
For
Pwndnoob.
Pwndnoob, his his
Unfortunately.
his his, his own
Oh, and why did I give him
his
a
own
point?
theories.
Yep.
It
Yep,
is
it is. Yeah, I
5-5.
gave Pwndnoob the point just because of how great of a shot that was. I forgot it was in fact Bananaconda. It was. He gets the good job point.
Yeah, and I think Bananaconda probably would have won that even without a missed shot coming off because of the bug being
Yeah,
clean.
yeah,
So it's really a double victory there.
yeah. If that highlight was just for you could have done a real BB, then
Yeah.
you know.
And that means that we go into this last venue. Each game win equals a point in the standings,
Yep.
and Pwndnoob has to win these two, or else this complete win everything. The win everything plan is gone. Bananaconda trying to take the win themselves, trying here to get out of the bottom two, get become safe essentially in platinum, and we'll see if Bananaconda can take these points or if Pwndnoob will continue the streak in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And theoretically, this should be one of the venues that Bananaconda is less suitable for, since it's a 3-5, a soft tell variant, which means that the spy is not going to be doing a hard tell for you to catch. And Pwndnoob knows that. That is why Purloin is off. Might be easier to sneak a bug through than to do a Purloin, which the sniper can be super, super on top of.
It's interesting because against some players, it really depends because the decision between Purloin versus Contact is what the hell is Bananaconda doing with this the sniper cam? Okay, they were just zoomed in onto like some random hatch somewhere. But anyways, that stopped now. Anyway, so I can get back to what I was talking about. The Purloin versus Bug debate really depends on, would you rather force the sniper to look at the bug a lot and give it like, because a good sniper can
Ooh,
often.
fake contact coming off. Pwndnoob was having a little bit of a slow start, not doing much, entering a conversation with
Oh
nothing,
my
and gets
goodness.
low lit for it because of assumed real. And I do not blame Bananaconda for that at all. It's a very unconventional play to do a fake banana bread from this conversation with only one other person. You know, you just instinctively think that, of course, the spy must be in one of those two conversations with the SDAs.
Yeah, and yeah. Bug versus Purloin, again, do you want them to spend time staring at the ambassador, or do you want to spend them to have the memory load of remembering who went to bar? In this case, Pwndnoob opts for the bug, wants to force Bananaconda to just look at that ambassador a lot and be a little bit worried that someone could just finish without them knowing.
Yeah, and probably not actually trying to get a bug through here because you do expect that Bananaconda will be able to catch it. It's just a question of keeping their mental taxation on something else. And I don't know if Pwndnoob went into the match with this strategy or not, but they are clearly not planning to finish here. They are hoping someone gets shot because of the fake banana bread. And that's
Yeah.
risky. We don't know if Bananaconda will shoot someone. But again, Bananaconda might just shoot an AI who finishes at this point.
Yeah, and so the thing is, with getting a low light here, getting a low light is great. You're low lit. You're not going to get shot for anything. However, it doesn't matter if you're not going to finish missions, because a lot of people use lowlights to mean, hey, this isn't the spy, or if this is the spy, they're not doing anything. They're not getting their stuff done. So
Oh,
here comes the
another
second
contact coming off now. This one is real, and we get brought back up to a highlight for it. Oh god, back down to low light?
what's going on?
This is
I
so
think
risky. And remember, this is what Pwndnoob is doing to hold on to that undefeated streak. The risky play of getting that low light in the first place, risky again to do another contact.
yeah,
This is what it's all coming down to.
and considering that contact is very interesting from Bananaconda, and I don't think any AIs are going to be finishing here, so probably just going to hold this shot going. But so that contact is very interesting, right? The reason you get brought back up there, if you do, and it sticks as Pwndnoob, is because this is the second contact that's come off. You assume that, hey, this person had fake earlier or whatever. But
And
Pwndnoob just
Pwndnoob
times out.
runs out of time. Bananaconda takes the point, up 6-5, and that means Pwndnoob cannot win this match. He can get a draw, but he cannot win.
The streak has been...
The streak is over.
That was, that's a risky strategy. It's definitely a better strategy on a 3 of 5 map to do nothing and, hope AI finish missions for you. But unfortunately, there was not a lot of, really, as far as I can tell, the only person that went to statues, actually no, so Irish went to statues, and Queen went to statues twice, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm not criticizing Pwndnoob for going for a risky strategy there, even if it could break the streak, because remember, as casters, we care about the streak. We love seeing it. But Pwndnoob is so far ahead, they don't have to be worried about, getting a draw or losing that one particular pub game.
Yep.
So a risky strategy isn't, it's not throwing anything away there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Pwndnoob still has a chance to be undefeated if
yes, continue the undefeated streak, not the unfortunately not the lost
or the drawless. And I am ready to go when you are.
Yeah. All right. We'll see how this match wraps up in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Bananaconda looking to get a win here, and again, standings are one thing. Bananaconda is lower on the standings. Even if Bananaconda gets a win here, she can't shoot to the top or win the divisional medal or whatever. But getting a win off on the person who is undefeated at the top of the rankings would be huge.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that when you beat someone or even tie someone that has been winning all of their games and is expected to continue winning, you are taking a point that no one else in your division is. And so what's happening there is you basically just gained a point on the rest of your division, which can really just drastically improve your standings.
And it looks like Bananaconda taking this a little bit slow, just getting our first flirt with Duke here. It looks like we're going to stick around and go for a timer flirt. There are quite a few highlights here, presumably for statues or other odd behavioral things. So the fact that Bananaconda isn't one of them is looking good for her. It's giving Pwndnoob a lot of time to maybe build up cases against some other AI.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say it. Anyways,
don't give in to the peer pressure.
We do get that second flirt off right before ST leaves, which is really nice for us. Lots of activity in this party. Maybe if we can get a contact off with a statue visitor in for it, that would be
and
really
it looks
big.
like we're going for our first real mission progress. Is it going to be a statue or is it going to be the bar? Purloin is turned off, worth noting. Wow, we get shot just for going to statues.
Hold on. Oh, okay,
did Pwndnoob not like that path? Yeah, I think that could be it. When you look at Irish path, she doesn't curve very tightly around the bar, and my understanding
not
is
only that. Not only that, but she did a little wiggle onto the pad right at the end, which AIs don't usually do. They'll walk straight into the pad. So it looks like Pwndnoob just caught that little pathing error from Bananaconda and just takes the shot, super confident about it.
Wow, great catch. And yeah, very confident, not even waiting. I mean, Bananaconda couldn't have been done. She didn't have fingerprints. There was no contact, and you assume she didn't bug. So just must have been very confident to take that shot. So Rooks is asking for maybe a little more clarification here in chat, and I do think we can explain.
All right.
So if we look at Irish's path,
I'll go back.
this is a very minor thing. There's two things that might be at play here. So the first one is when an AI is going to that statue at the back, they generally tend to take, I believe, a tighter path. They will hug the bar a little bit, just sort of. It's what AI do. It sort of indicates where they're going. So the way Irish was walking closer to the window here could indicate that she was actually going to end up, at the window, but instead she curves towards the back. So that could look weird. And the other thing we were mentioning is that little step at the end. Instead of walking straight into the statue, she takes one tiny little step off to the left, and that could also look odd.
All
Yeah,
right. Anyway,
and that means the set's over, 6-6.
Yep, and Pwndnoob manages to salvage it and
Yes, stays undefeated.
pull. Yep.
And
Yeah, and
that's
that's
our
it.
cast.
That was the last match. Pretty good one to end on. Bananaconda did really well. Unfortunately, it's Platinum is very tough. Not a lot of room for errors.
Yeah.
And Pwndnoob
Yeah, and I
is
think
obviously very good as well.
we saw a lot of the importance of map picks tonight and
Yeah.
basing them on your opponents, with Bananaconda and Pwndnoob, counter picking each other. Pwndnoob picking Pub 3-5 and Taen so that Bananaconda couldn't camp hardtails. The previous match we had Ranmilia picking Gallery because they knew it was Smitty's weakness and doing well there. So
Yeah.
we're really seeing the strength of picking your maps based on the opponent and based on researching them and knowing what their strengths and weaknesses
Yep.
are.
Yeah, if I wasn't in Diamond and knew basically everybody, I would do research as well.
All right. And that's been the cast,
Yep.
everybody. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
We will be back tomorrow with new casters, and I'm not sure about the new host, but are you doing
Probably.
a hosting
It won't
tomorrow,
be me.
Kratos? Okay, then yes, a new host. We'll be back tomorrow with new casters and new host for the NA stream. I believe that's at what is it? 5 p.m. PDT.
Yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific, and
Yeah,
yeah, so that should be good. I have no idea what games are going to be cast.
Yeah, if you're interested in joining SCL yourself, you can do that just by hopping on to the Discord at discord.gg/spyparty and shooting a message over to @crazykaylee, who runs the league. You'll be placed into Challenger with the rest of our newer players, and it's a lot of fun. If you're interested, definitely don't hesitate to join. We take all types.
Yep.
And as for that, if you're interested in more Spy Party SCL stats or broadcasts, you can find them here on twitch.tv/spyparty, or go over to spypartyfans.com and click on the competitive tab to check out more of that.
Yep.
And I think that's everything that needs to be plugged. So.
Yep, I think we're good. Thank you all for
Thank
watching, and thank you, casters. We'll see you
All right.
next time. Goodbye.
Have a good evening.